Yo, it's Guido coming at you with the Tactics Talk, my friends. How is it going? Well, today's episode is under the banner or heading of Old Dog, New Tricks. Old Dog, New Tricks. Actually, it's an old trick, but I'm going to show you something on Lakeville that you are probably going to want to know. And I'm going to show you that I'm actually learning to get better in the K-91. And while the stats aren't amazing, they are certainly better than they used to be. And if I'm not careful, I might crawl above 50%. But now that I've said it, I'm sure I'll have a nosedive. But I've made some significant progress towards 50% in this thing. The stats still aren't great. This is a tank that I am starting to win when I'm doing 1,200 damage. And some of that is probably just the team carrying me. A lot of that's probably the team just carrying me. But I am alive at the end of the battle helping. So trying to learn when to be a little bit more passive in this tank, when to be aggressive. It can be aggressive, but of course it's a casemate, so that's tricky. Doesn't have a whole bunch of hit points, so you don't want to go raging in there early. But anyway, we're gonna go a little bit forward on this particular match and get into a place where we can get our gun moving, and I'll show you something on Lakeville that you're going to want to know. A lot of you will know this, but some of you may not know this. I am running the rammer vents, which is in the extra bonus slot. I don't remember which one I picked. I have an IA on this thing. It's got the large kit that is free, which is one of the cool things about the Tier 9 reward tanks. Those don't cost anything. I've got a large med kit and an automatic fire extinguisher. So I'm not running food. There's a couple more things I could do to tame the gun and make the tank a little bit better, but we're not in pure try-hard mode. I have a pretty good crew, about 3, maybe working on their 4th skill right there. Let's get started on Lakeville, Himmelsdorf. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to head into town. This is almost always my first move on mediums, heavies, and any kind of TD that can kind of get in there and get brawling, and really sometimes even glass cannons, because there's buildings and alleyways and things you can completely hide behind and wait for an opportunity to poke out. Or in the case of this tank, I'll show you what I'm going to do. I have this plan in my brain, but I see this other K-91, so I slam on the brakes. He knows he's seen, so 6th sense has gone off. I have not fully zoomed, so I just want to show you that this tank takes a long time to zoom in. A long time to zoom in. Alright, so I fired before it was fully zoomed, so that was definitely a big RNG kind of thing right there. I come in here to see if I can still see him, and unfortunately I sort of square up right in front of the E100, so I wish I hadn't done that, but the shot was there. I would have liked him to not ram into me, but of course he had the momentum. He's working into the town. So we're going to head on here into town. As you can see, there's one already on each side. It is a tier 10 battle, so on the bottom tier, actually, I thought we had 8s on this one, but we don't. Now I'm going to come in here into this road over here on the east side of the map, and I'll show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to knock this tree down, but it's going to be at a fairly specific angle. Now it's easy to mess this up. If you knock it too far to the right, it'll lean up against the building and won't lay down completely. If you knock it too far to the left, the other way, it will leave a gap. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to knock this tree down in the direction that the threat's going to come from. I'm going to go ahead and there we go. So it's always this corner up here, right in this general area right here, that people are going to be peeking around. So there's the tree. You can see the trunk. I want to knock it right down there and accentuate this existing bush here and this bush over to the left. Boom, there we go. So I put it right into that opening between the two, which means you got to hit it at the right angle. Now here comes these guys. I'm going to show you how many times I can shoot here without being seen. I was sort of worried that guy would see me, but he didn't. So we'll just come around here and we'll wait for a nice zoom. And I'll back out. Now I immediately back out on my first shot in situations like that just to make sure that I'm at the right spot. All right, I don't want to shoot and go, well, I know I'm not going to get spotted. And then the light bulb goes off, which is 3 seconds after you are spotted, and here comes the shot about that same time. So we'll back up. The other thing you want to watch out for on this particular spot if you're going to build this little nest is people can get it. It's hard to see here, but right through here, there's a little bit of an opening right through here, and people can shoot straight down this road. They know you're on this corner, and they know they can get shots. And it's, let's see if we can line this thing up where it exactly is, and you can see it's generally right here on this corner. Okay, so they can sort of come around the corner. Now it's dangerous because they can get shot from the middle road over here, but just watch out for that. Alright, so we'll keep working this. And I am checking, because the other place that's dangerous is they can come through this road over here, or there's another alley off to the right over there, and if they come forward enough and they're tall enough, they'll see you as well and light you. So we got 318, we'll just come in here and we'll kind of wait. There we go, and that's what you're looking for. Let's try to catch it next time we see it. You want to see that bush go dark, just like that. So theoretically, he should not be able to see me when I shoot. There are lots of different little things. Some bushes are better than others. How much of the hitbox goes off to the right side over here? Is part of my tank sticking out? Is there somebody else with line of sight when I shoot anyway, so it doesn't matter that I'm fully dark or behind the dark bush on this guy? There's a lot of little things going on right here. But in general, that's what you want to see. That kind of thing right there. So we'll shoot one into him. I have gone to my APCR. It's a BZ, pretty thick armor. And then I see, and I'm going to prioritize the T30 because he is lighter armored. I get him to the side, unfortunately. That's a auto bounce angle I got there, or I just didn't have enough pin. The 110E3, I'm like, okay, let's not do that. Let's back out and see if we can shoot this guy and back out. All right, we're back. You don't know that, really. Well, maybe you do, because I had something. Something came up. All right, here we go. We put a shot into the 277. We got our nest built. Every time I back up, I'm going to look around and see if something like maybe that's happening. And I can't see him because he's on the outside ring of the buildings. But there, again, it's possible if they come in here and they're tall enough that they'll get a line of sight on you. And you don't want that to happen. And then all 3 or 4, whatever's stacked up over here on the corner, sees you at once. And it's 3 seconds until the light goes off, and you're already just taking multiple hits there. So I am being a little bit careful here in terms of how I'm doing it. So I'm going to back up a little bit more so I can really get dark on these bushes here and get shots without these guys seeing me. There we go. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm going to wait for the zoom, watch how long it takes. But still, I'm able to get a track. I get damage on the T30. I think he fixed it. The nice thing about this tank is it does reload very quickly. We're going to try to stab one into the bottom of the 110E3. A little bit of a rush job, but I get the shot. And now I can kind of just zoom in. I was really sort of expecting him to just take a shot into that bush since he probably knows I'm there. But for whatever reason, he doesn't. And now I'm just going to go for the kill shot on this guy to the plate. And unfortunately, he starts to shift just as I do it. That surprised me. I felt like I should have been lit based on what I was seeing. The visual representation of how clear that was. But apparently, it was fine. Trees do that a little bit. It's hard to tell where the hitbox or the concealment is coming from on trees sometimes. Sometimes you can pretty easily see through them, and you do get the full camo, and sometimes you can see through them and you're just out in the open. So just be careful with trees, but I'm so far back I'm able to use this little bush. I think I actually get a kill on this. Yeah, so RNG smiles upon me. I'm able to get into the side of his casemate right there. Now let's take a look at what's going on. We're actually losing by quite a bit right here. Things are not going that great. We pushed in hard. We took some hit points, but look how beat up we are. The 215 has YOLO'd in. The E100 is not really pushing in and helping very much, and the 263 is near dead. So we're going to see how we handle this now. I'm not really sure what I was doing right there. I wasn't typing. I think I was assessing what was going on based on seeing it. A little bit of a even up action going on. And I'm being kind of cautious now. This is that part that I'm struggling a little bit with this tank. Do I get aggressive and go in? And I'm feeling like we're not in great shape. But then I see this other 215 Bravo come up. The other one died already. Down goes the 263. Now I'm back to, well, now I don't want to move forward. So I'm kind of going back and forth. But the EBR comes in here, and he kind of gets himself stuck. I get an armor not hit, which is a bummer. And then he really gets himself stuck. I can tell he's just trying to flail around and get out of here, and I'm able to sneak a shot on him. That's that fast reload on the K-91. It happens quite quickly. I think the Coons have finally seized me. There we go. So now they know who it is. Now T30, it looks like he wants to come around the corner, and I'd love to sneak one into him. There we go. I do. Unfortunately, I get a armor not penetrated, but he only gets my gun. So that's fine. I'll take that trade. That was better than... Well, I would have liked to have damaged him, but it was better than me getting damaged and bouncing off of him. I tracked the Centurion. Here's where the fast reload on this tank really comes into its own. Whether he's saving his kit or thought he would out-reload me, I don't know. There, I think he used his kit in that case. He was probably a little bit surprised by how fast I took that shot. Got the 277 up there. The T30 is hanging out. Can't really find a shot on him. What I don't want is somebody to come around the right side of the church, light me, and let the 277 get a shot on me. So I'm being a bit extra careful here. I was really hoping the Centurion would come through up high, but he lowers himself down. Coons is in great shape, and now we've kind of evened this thing up at 6 to 8 at this point. So much better than it was. And we're not down so many hit points. I'm going to shift a little bit right. And now there's only 3 of them in there. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. We got the 277, the Kunze, and a near-dead T-30. There's the T-30. Let's see if we can kill them now. I'll let that zoom in. A little bit careful. 277 comes in. He's beating up the 215. Now we'll go over here and we'll start getting shots on him. I go dark. Rush the shot and jerk the shot high. Went into his upper plate, it looks like. There we go. Oh man, that's unlucky. Now I see the Type 61 coming in, so I ignore the 277. I'd really love to keep my E100 alive. That would be nice. Now I know they're probably going to come in and try to shoot me in the side, so I back here. That whole move right there was to get myself in amongst these buildings so that the Kunze wouldn't be shooting me in the side, and then I still have shots on the Type 61. We take that guy down. Again, the E100 is sitting on a one-shot for both these guys. Kunze's got pretty good hit points. The object's got pretty good hit points. And now we're very reactive, unfortunately. I don't feel like I can push in and YOLO in at this point, so I'm going to hold off. I see their K-91 in our backfield. I'm not too happy about that, but there's not a whole lot I can do. So what I'm trying to do now is just sort of fade back into a position they're not going to guess, although I'm not have to knock trees down, unfortunately, so if they're paying any kind of attention, they should know. I come up to this building, I'm wondering, all right, where are these guys? Are they going to YOLO the E100 before I can get to them? If I come around the corner, okay, there's one of them, so that's nice. And he's going to actually give himself a shot to me, or give me a shot to him. And he sneaks one into me, or misses, I mean. The Kunze gets one into me. I know I'm going to out-reload this dude, so I'm going to take a nice shot into his lower plate again. Try to get out of there. Hope the Kunze can't get a shot. And he gets one! Oh my gosh, just, I don't know, just a bit of my front was stuck out. That's that difficulty of the casemate. The reason I was backing out instead of pushing up to tuck in, I was afraid he was just going to knock the building down and let the 277 come out and have free reign. And then I'd be trying to back out, and they're both reloading. Unfortunately, my cleverness did not work out. I ended up taking a shot anyway. Things are starting to even up again. We're up to 5,406. I don't know where that came from. I think maybe it was a shot at the E100, or maybe somebody was taking a blind shot, and I'm not sure. It made me concerned there might be somebody in the middle, but then I looked at what we had. We had 2 of them here. The Foch is over there in the Valley of the Noobs, and they have an Artie, and that is it. And it's here that I don't make a great move. And that was a bummer. I wish I had not been spotted by the 277. I was trying to surprise the stupid Kunze Panzer. So I bail out of that because I'm afraid that the E100 is going to get pushed by the 277. So instead of rush down there and try to take out the Kunze, I swing around to try to help with the 277. E100 puts a nice shot on him, and then I just push out of there. If I had it to do again, I would have turned around and killed the 277. Unfortunately, this guy gets around away. I take a shot. He's actually going to get one on me. I get stunned. I can't turn as fast as I wanted to. I just wanted to ram the stupid Kunze. He does a nice job with the back and forth, but we kill him, and now I go out. And here's another mistake. So the whole sequence of holding on with the E100, I think, in my opinion, you guys let me know what you think down below there. I just don't like how I prioritized. I should have helped the E100 take out the object. And yes, the Kunze would have rushed in and tried to get some shots, but potentially we kill the object, maybe even keep the 100 alive if I'm around with the object. If not, at least we got one of them dead, and now I can deal with a single shot Kunze. I got the Kunze, but instead of turning and taking on the object, which I'm pretty sure I can't take a hit from at 406, and that's kind of where I was coming from on this. I try to bail out. I'm trying to be sneaky. He probably has a good idea which way I'm going, and unfortunately now I'm moving across the open. What I really wanted to do was rush across and try to get it behind the Foch, but then I find this guy, and he's in a weird spot. This right here, I'm like, well, this is not great, because I'm going to come over here and I'm going to shoot this 53-55, and then the stupid 277 is know where I am, and it turns out he's actually charging hard this way anyway because he shows up pretty quickly. I think I take a big hit. Yeah, he actually splashes with the stun, and I don't quite get reloaded before I get shot in the back. That guy's behind a rock, and I don't also notice this dude's coming. So another mistake, if I'd have been paying closer attention to the minimap, I could have swung around behind this rock. And yes, that leaves that guy alive, but at least I could have turned around and maybe taken on the 277. And unfortunately for me, I allowed the 277 to shoot me in the back. So that whole end sequence was not well done. We actually end up winning this game. I believe it's a ace. So we'll have to go ahead and take a look at that, how it went at the end for the team. But I'm pretty sure it was a win, as I recall, which is why I kept it. And it was my second or third ace in the tank. So I am acing it on occasion. I'm having pretty bad games also. It seems to be feast or famine with this thing, really, at the end of the day. But getting a little bit better. I wish I'd have played the end game a lot better than I did. That was a bit frustrating because I felt like I was making a good decision. I'd start to execute, and it would go badly, and then I would make what I thought was another good decision, and then start to execute, and that turned out to be a bad one. So it just the end of it just really snowballed. Good damage, 5,889, 1,240 bounced. It can be a kind of bouncy little tank. And like I said, we do end up winning this. That is all I've got for today, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We will see ya.